On the morning of the incident, Blackheart wore faded blue jeans, a button-down plaid shirt with the tails hanging out, and penny loafers. Lately, his mind had become a little unhinged. The real problem began when he started hearing voices. That's never a good sign. Finally, one morning he woke up and something snapped. He decided he had enough of the entire goddamn capitalistic system. Before leaving his house for work that morning, he pulled out a shotgun stuffed underneath his bed and tossed it in the back seat of his car. Instead of heading to the job, he took a detour that landed him at the First National Bank. Wearing a dirty green woolen beanie on his head, he walked in and threatened to kill everyone unless they gave him all the money. Afterwards, the crazy son of a bitch stopped at Harvey's Quick Mart for coffee and cigarettes. A Congo line of police cruisers, longer than the escort on O.J. Simpson's white Bronco, followed him into Harvey's parking lot. Jonas quickly got out of the car and ducked inside the store. "Ladies and gentlemen," Jonas announced and cocked his shotgun, "I'm hoping to have your full attention today." He pulled the trigger and blew a hole in the ceiling. A frightened woman and a little boy holding a chocolate ice cream cone crouched down on the floor over by the bread aisle. A teenager with a nose ring and a weepy girlfriend stood next to the coffee island. There were also a couple of big galoots, one standing by a lottery machine and wearing a construction hat. Behind the counter by the cash register, a young man held his hands over his head. Outside the building, police cruisers with blaring lights pulled into the parking lot. It was going to be a real good day in hell. "Hey, man, are you the manager?" Jonas asked the guy behind the register and glanced at his name tag. "Roy, is it?" Roy nodded fearfully. "How about a pack of smokes, Roy? Make it menthol lights." Jonas threw a 5-spot on the counter. Roy shivered so hard his teeth chattered. He pulled a pack of cigarettes out of a rack and handed them over. Jonas glanced at the no-smoking sign in the window. Giggling, he flicked a lighter and lit up. "I'm gonna level with you, Roy. Nobody needs to get hurt here. I mean, you're just trying to do some shitty minimum-wage job, right?" Stiff as a rock, Roy stared at him with big eyes. "The thing is, you got to understand my position, Roy." Jonas looked around the room. "If one of these people goes apeshit, I'm gonna have to shoot them. That'd be on your watch. You don't need that kind of drama. You know what I'm saying?" Roy shook his head. "Yes," he stuttered. "I mean, yes, sir." "That's the spirit." "You want the money from the register?" Roy finally asked. "No money, Roy. I just robbed the First National. What I need from you, Roy, is to convince these people to stay calm and not do anything stupid. You think you can handle that?" Roy nodded. "Listen up!" Jonas shouted and waved his gun. The woman with the little boy held her kid tight. The construction workers in the corner of the room, who looked like they just stepped out of a Village People video, clamped their fists tight. "As you probably surmised, we've got ourselves a situation," Jonas said, and put his arm around the store manager. "Right, Roy?" Shivering in his shoes, Roy shrugged. "Whatever you say, sir." He patted Roy on the shoulder. "The cops got a listening deficit. Sometimes those bastards just need to be convinced. I'm guessing this is one of those times. You understand that, right, Roy?" Roy nodded. Jonas grinned. "I'm glad we have an agreement." Without hesitation, Jonas put the shotgun underneath Roy's chin and pulled the trigger. The blast reverberated all through the building.